Hello, everybody, and welcome to the side panel. I'm your host, AJ. This is going to be a jam-packed episode full of 5 different movie reviews. And it's probably going to get a little boring for you because I'm going to have to go on a little longer than I normally do. I apologize ahead of time. I don't like the sound of my voice at all, so I can only imagine the suffering that you guys are having to go through. So, what movies am I going to bore you with this week? Well, we're going to be talking about Morbius, Ambulance, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. So, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? First film I'm going to review is Morbius. Morbius is a 2022 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character Morbius the Living Vampire. It is supposed to take place in Sony's Spider-Man universe, so it exists alongside all the Spider-Man films as well as the Venom films. The problem with that is that this movie sucked. I can't really give too much away about it, and I can't really find any redeeming qualities about it, except that it was a movie I saw, and so in that aspect, it was good, I guess. Gave me something to do during that time, but honestly, it fell severely short. Between the acting not being all that great, the cinematography not being great, the overuse of his blurry, blood smeary type of movements made it really annoying to see and to try to follow stuff. The makeup used on his face was fantastic, but I still think that that's part of the CGI. What can I say about this film? Michael Morbius is a kid that grew up with a rare blood disease and found a common friend in his adopted brother, played by Matt Smith. Sorry, everything just blanked on me. Whew. Anyway, Matt Smith plays Milo Morbius, who really his name was something else, but I cannot remember because it really wasn't all that impressive. Matt Smith was probably the worst thing about this film. In that he did the whole... Remember the Spider-Man 3 emo Spidey dance? Well, Matt Smith kind of does the same thing getting dressed, so it's kind of not that great. And Jared Leto... I like Jared Leto in a lot of his films. Just not here. It just wasn't, They tried to cram a lot of powers into this guy, and basically what takes place in the span of 2 days. And because of that, everything felt rushed and crammed together. Nothing made sense. Nothing came together right. Everything just kind of was mishmash. Boom, here you go. Which is a shame considering how many times they had to reshoot it and how long it took for them to actually come out with the film, as it had finished filming in June of 2019. It was supposed to come out last year, but because of the corona, it was supposed to come out in 2020 actually, but because of corona, it kept getting pushed back until it was released in Mexico City on March 10th, and then finally in the United States on April 1st. Which tells me that they had plenty of time to watch it and go, hey, this movie kind of sucks. Let's reshoot. Let's do something different. Let's try something different. But they didn't bother with it because they thought they had lightning in a bottle. So because of that, we end up with this, Morbius. I'll be honest with you. Growing up, reading comic books and whatnot, Morbius was not one of my favorite characters, but he was a character that I was familiar with. He showed up a lot of times with Blade or in Spider-Man or comics like that. And there was nothing about him that really intrigued me other than, I don't know, he was just a living vampire that didn't act like a vampire. In that, at the time, we expected vampires with capes and blah, 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 and the whole thing, when I was a kid. So, seeing Morbius in comics was something different for us. For me, anyway. So, but it wasn't enough to attract me to try and read everything he's been in or any of his comics or any of that stuff. So going into it, I really didn't have much expectations, and thank God, because otherwise I would have been more disappointed than I am now. I'm sure there's some people out there that'll enjoy it. I'm sure the new crowd, the young crowd, will enjoy a lot of what they see. I, on the other hand, am not one of those people. So, yeah, sorry. Next up is Ambulance. Ambulance is a American action thriller directed and produced by Michael Bay. Film stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, and Isa Gonzalez. It was a story about two adoptive siblings trying to rob a bank and end up hijacking an ambulance and taking the two first responders as hostage, as well as one of the police officers that they end up shooting ends up being inside the ambulance at the time. So, what can I say about this movie? It's Michael Bay. So, if you've seen one Michael Bay movie, you've seen them all. There's nothing different or outstanding about it. I will say this, though. I was okay with the movie and the events happening in the movie, except for the excessive use of a drone camera. And Michael Bay, he milks the hell out of that technology in this film. Understandable that it was made during the pandemic, so there wasn't a lot of big sets that people could be on. There wasn't a lot of actors and cinematographers and all that stuff, camera holders to help film. So the new technology of being a drone camera came into effect here in this film. But they overdid it. I mean, they overdid it. It's only so many times you can watch that camera span the city and then scale down the side of a building as fast as you can. He does that at least 5 or 6 times. And after a while, you're just like, oh, this is annoying. So, Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya, they do a pretty good job in the acting. Yahya, to me, he's just not an action guy. I've seen him so far in, oh God, what was that last movie he was in that I hated? Oh, The Matrix Resurrections. He was horrible in that. He was great in Aquaman. I loved his character in Aquaman, and I loved how he did it in Aquaman. He was amazing as in the Watchmen TV series. I can't tell you who he was. And in saying that, automatically giving away who he was. he was fantastic in that show. But this kind of stuff he just doesn't excel at. You know, I think he's a better actor than he is like an action star. You know, Candyman, he was pretty good in Candyman, but still, you know, he gives that feeling like he doesn't care if he's there or not, so it kind of rubs off on his characters and whatnot. Ambulance is a fine film. It's a Michael Bay, so, you know, there's big production value. There's lots of explosions, chase scenes. There's more bullets than there are dollars put into this movie, and it shows throughout. And yeah, that's about everything I can say about the film. See it if you want. It might be. It would have been better, a better summer movie than it is a March movie, you know. But it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Immediately after that, I went to go see Sonic the Hedgehog Part 2. Now, I'll tell you right now, when I saw the first Sonic the Hedgehog, I saw it with bated breath. I wasn't exactly, you know, like, ooh, let's go see Sonic, you know. It was one of those things where part of my movie subscription to the theater I go to, you know, I get 3 movies a week for $23 a month, you know, so I'm able to see all these films and whatnot on the cheap. And so it was, I was kind of bored that night and I wanted something to watch. So I went and saw Sonic. Growing up on the video game as a kid and thinking it would be, you know, kind of silly, but if anything, at least time killer. But I was surprised because the first Sonic was just an awesome film. Great story, great premise, great acting. The fact that they had people had complained enough about how Sonic looked that they went back and made Sonic look a lot better. Really came through in the film, and I enjoyed that film. So I went into Sonic the Hedgehog 2 thinking that I was going to get something along the same lines. Wrong. This movie turned into a Jim Carrey fest. That's just all it was. Between the insane overacting of Jim Carrey, which wasn't that bad and more fitting in the first film. Here in the second film, it's just too much, and it turns into something like that. So I wasn't too happy with it. I'm not really batting 1,000 here in my movie reviews this week, but it's fun. It was an excuse to hear Idris Elba as Knuckles, and any excuse for Shamar Moore to take off his shirt he uses, which he shows up in here, and it's just not as great. It's not horrible. The effects are kind of cool. The visuals are kind of cool. But Jim Carrey just ruins the movie for me, and that's unfortunate. The next film that I saw is a film I've been waiting for a very long time, and I know a lot of you have been waiting for it too, and that's The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, the Nick Cage movie. In this film, Nick Cage plays a fictionalized version of himself, and he's down on his luck. He's running out of money. He's not getting the roles he wants. And he gets a phone call from his agent saying, hey, here's this guy's going to give you $1 million to attend his birthday party. And, you can't turn down the money, so go. So Nick Cage goes and proceeds to be Nick Cage. This movie was fantastic. I loved every minute of it. I laughed my ass off the entire time. And even though they had to get actors like Ike Barinholtz and Tiffany Haddish to kind of star in there, comedy it up a little bit, I think that Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal did a great job of carrying the entire movie on both their shoulders. And I enjoyed every last minute of it. I looked at it and I'm like, dude, that's the Mandalorian. That is a complete opposite of what I'm used to seeing Pedro Pascal do. So, and that was great because he looked like he had a blast filming that movie. Like, he finally got to take the mask and the costume off and just be himself and have fun. And Nick Cage did the same, and that's how it comes across, and you love the film because of it. I cannot recommend it enough. Go see it when you can. It's a lot of fun. Bring your friends, man, because it is one of those group movies that you want to go see. All right, so finally, the final movie to review this week, and that being Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. What can I say about this movie? The plot follows a Chinese-American woman being audited by the IRS who discovers that she must connect with versions of herself from different parallel universes in order to help prevent the destruction of them all. You've seen the trailer. I've seen the trailer. This movie came across, seeing the trailers and everything, I knew it was going to be madness. Nothing but pure madness. And that is exactly what I got. It was crazy and fun and awesome. And then somehow, some way, in the last half an hour, 30, 40 minutes, it broke me. And I just started crying like a baby toward the end. And I just couldn't stop. And it wasn't even like a ugly cry. It wasn't like, anything where it's not running down. It was just tears were flowing down. And I was smiling, and I was sad, and I was just amazed at what I was watching. The movie is phenomenal. I cannot. This is probably one of my favorite movies so far this year. Without going back and seeing exactly what I saw this year, but it is a lot of fun. And it stars Michelle Yeoh, who we've all known from. We recently saw her in Shang-Chi, and she, she's more popular, more famous for being in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. The surprise in this film came from Ki Hugh Kwan. Who is that, you may ask? Well, he's the actor that portrays her husband, but more importantly, he's Short Round from the second Indiana Jones movie. That's right, Dr. Jones, Short Round. He also portrayed Data in The Goonies. So you kind of have an idea what I'm talking about. Well, he's all grown up now, and he does a fantastic job in a supporting role in this film. And he pulls those tears out of you, kicking and screaming. But at the same time, it's great. Jamie Lee Curtis does a great job in this film. James Hong, Harry Shrum Jr., Janie Slate, Stephanie Sue. I enjoyed it, and I really think that you will too. It's not for the kids. Do not take the children to go see this. Do not take your parents to go see this. Go with your significant other, or a bunch of friends, somebody you can be you with, and go see the movie, because I think you'll enjoy it a lot better in that way than you would if you're having to hang out with your parents or whatnot and having to put that face on. By face, I mean, the mask or whatever. It's great. I loved it. I enjoyed it, and I think you will too. So please go see that movie. And that wraps it up for this episode. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for your patience once again between episodes and the length. I'm trying. I'm doing my best, and I'm trying. In the meantime, come find me at Draven on any of the social media networks. You can look up Forbidden Panel on any of the social media networks. You can find me at forbiddenpanel.com, posting every other month. I post a webcomic that I do with Jimmy Purcell of BeenBetter.com. You guys should check it out. It's called Lunch Break. Go support my friend Richard Duran. He's doing Crooked Smile Art and Crooked Smile Collectibles with K's. He's putting up some cooking videos, and he's got a lot of fun stuff coming. But other than that, thanks everybody once again, and we'll see you on the next episode.